So I know many of you have been wondering what has been going on with the house build, so I thought today I'd start this video, just let you know a few updates on that so you're kind of in the loop as to where we're at right now. So this spring has been extremely wet here in Iowa, and that has been good for our drought conditions that we've been having for the last couple seasons. But what it's not so good for would be building, and since our builder is not just working on our build this season, but some other ones as well, put him behind on a few things that he needed to finish in order to get to our build. So we're inching very close now to actually starting on the footings and getting the building started, but it has taken longer as far as the delay, mainly just because of weather conditions. But the other thing that happened was that we were planning to wait until we got our windows in before we were going to do most of the structure, just because Paul wanted to put everything in there, have everything there as much as possible so he could put the windows in, just get everything buttoned up and not have to wait with anything. Well, our windows are being made here locally, and there was a tornado this spring that went through the southern part of Des Moines and actually clipped that factory a little bit to where they had some damage and they had to do some things with their production and all that. So that has set the windows behind even more than they were, which most people know if you're building anything right now, most materials are way behind anyway, but now we're not getting those until probably around mid-August or so. But instead of waiting on the rest of the structure, Paul doesn't really want to do that, so he said we will just get started here and do as much as we possibly can, get everything prepared for those windows. They'll be ready to go right in once we get them, and that's just what we have to do. So that's kind of the position we're in terms of the build, but this upcoming next week, today is July 2nd. We are planning weather-wise, if everything holds out, to do the footings and to pour the concrete for that. And of course, I'll be keeping track of all that stuff and filming and doing all that. That's where I'm at, but I wanted to just thank you so much for watching these stories. I've been wanting to capture more of what goes on here during the summertime, but beyond that, just more of what goes on here of our lives here in the Midwest. That's the update right now. Thank you so much for staying and watching these stories. I have a few more story type videos coming yet before that house stuff happens. Really appreciate you watching all that.
Is he stuck?
Probably.
Nope, he's not stuck. He's just having a snack. Well, my deer fencing worked really well.
Another beautiful day at Westbury Acres. Look at how many are on this.
I know, isn't that cool? Cute little things.
Just not cute thorns.
Yeah, I've gotten a few.
I mean, you got a lot done in a pretty small amount of time, but it's working through those thorns, I'm sure, is not really...
No, it is a learned skill. It's interesting because compared to when we first came out here and I was working in the berries and I felt like I was getting pulled and stuck every which way, like you can feel them start to grab and you just kind of learn how to maneuver to let them let go. So it hasn't been that bad. But I'm also not working where they're like completely, you know, I have space here. No, they're not completely taking over. Mostly dead.
Kels has been working hard to remove a lot of the dead thorny stuff, and it's not always a fun job.
This guy. I cannot even begin to tell you these gloves. What a great tool they are. Not even sponsored, just I would not be able to do this without, I mean, just be able to grab something with thorns on it like that and handle it.
This is an area that will take some time, but we're trying to look to the future and make berry picking easier without so much thorny brush in the way. This is probably tick central right now, but there's just a bunch of stumps in here.
From what? Like just, did we cut stuff down?
No, this area down here, I don't know why. Some of it they have cut different trees and things.
Okay.
And there's some big stumps and some that are just like right against the ground, but as soon as I hit those with the Ventrac, it won't be good.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's some smaller ones in here that I really can't see. I got it actually. I worked on some of these old stumps enough to make sure I wasn't going to hit them when I was mowing through this area. So we got these stumps marked now, so I'm not going to hit them. And I can mow through here without trouble. It's right there. You're fine yet. It's the edge is right there.
Listen to that. Some of these are dark already.
We have a few mulberry trees around the property, and they were just about ready for picking. I see it.
Those are sweet.
We then moved down to the camp area to check on another mulberry tree.
Same trunk, but maybe it's just because it's in the shade. Look at how far behind it is.
Well, yeah, but it's not getting sun or as much water as that other one, probably.
Yeah.
If I remember right, this one was like midsummer.
Mm-hmm.
The birds love singing their songs constantly down here, and it truly is a spot that always feels peaceful. Probably pretty muddy, but
That's what mud boots are for.
I don't have mud boots on. Before leaving for the night, we took a moment to check out what's going to be close to the view out our upstairs windows. It's like we're little kids climbing.
I know.
So that's the view.
Wow.
When you have to fit summer into roughly a 3-month period, weekends are always busy with activities and travel.
Ready?
Ready, I think.
I'm sure we forgot something.
Today we were traveling back to my hometown in Minnesota for a special family event. But first, there's a scenic lookout on the interstate that we've passed numerous times that we finally took a chance to stop and capture. Hi. This is overlooking the Les Hills of southwest Iowa and is a place I want to explore a lot more of in the future.
Like you're far enough up where you can actually feel it like shift.
Yeah. Just as quickly as we stopped, we were back on the road for a few more hours of driving. I'm the oldest of 3 boys, and my middle brother and his wife have a beautiful little girl that was celebrating her 2nd birthday.
There we go, Dad.
Show them how you swing. Ready? Relax. She just closes her eyes. You relaxing?
It was also a special occasion because they just moved into the house that my grandpa built and where I spent a lot of my time during my childhood.
Push. Yeah, go. Go. You gotta steer it. You gotta drive it. You gotta drive it.
I think she maybe has a few years left before she's ready to drive.
Turn this way. Turn this way. Push it. Push it. Push the pedal.
Birthdays are tiring when you're 2, but cake and, of course, presents always makes it worth it.
Oh my gosh! Sweatshirt? Look it!
It was great to get away for a few days, but back to the heat of summer we came. Not many times you can be outside at 1 a.m. lit by moonlight, so this was kind of cool to just come out here and see it. This turtle right here has decided he's trying to get to the creek, but now he's stopped since I came down here. Oh, the things you'll see. I've also been on the hunt this summer to try to capture the dancing light that fills our backyard each night. Occasional thunderstorms continued to provide the rain we needed.
He does not particularly care for baths, which is unfortunate because he gets like 8 of them a month.
I've also been testing a few new lenses, and Ernie is always a good test subject. Moving dogs with manual focus is never an easy task.
You good boy. Ernie. See, look at my tan line, Dad.
Yeah. Some of you are probably also wondering what happened to Ernie's hair. So when we adopted Ernie, his skin was in pretty bad shape, and this is something that's typical of Westies. They often have a lot of skin issues, and if you don't get on top of them and figure out the right regimen of foods and what to do with them, they can get out of control. And so what happened with him is that his skin conditions weren't really being taken care of, and eventually it damaged his hair enough to where it didn't grow back in some places. There's been a few dogs that we've seen that have had this similar condition, that their hair has come back eventually, but it's been quite a while now where he's been on the foods that he should be on, and his skin is healthy, but it's not really growing back very much in some of these places, especially along his back there. It's not really coming back. So in the wintertime, we have like full outfits for him. It's pretty funny to see. In the summertime, though, we also have to watch him just because of so much skin exposed to the sun. So he has some sunscreen that he wears, and also you can see here that we were showing that he does have a distinct tan line now from where his skin is more exposed to the sun, and then his hair is protecting in some other areas. So just like me here in my nice farmer's tan that I have, similar in terms of what he has going on. So I've got watering to do today. I've got a bunch of work to do in terms of cleaning up some stuff along the driveways and mowing down some areas. It doesn't take long out here for it to become pretty much a jungle, so I'm trying to keep up with it as much as I can. I'm doing the best I can, again, not living here full time. There's a lot of ongoing maintenance with a property like ours, but it's honestly what we enjoy the most and why we decided to move to the country. People are gonna say, why do you have a different name on your back?
Why do I have a different name on my back?
Yeah.
This is a hand-me-down from my niece.
We can't forget about Kelsey's garden back home, which is doing very well and providing us fresh produce for evening meals.
Doesn't really get any fresher than that. So good.
Joey likes to sneak a few snacks every once in a while too.
I like them too, Joe.
In my head, I always tell myself I'll take more time on summer evenings to capture our beautiful state while it's nice outside. But time often gets away from me. On this evening, though, we were intentional about getting out into the country and exploring. You're not supposed to walk like a drunk person. It does feel weird, though.
It's so weird.
It's hard, especially holding the camera.
Totally worth it, though. Look at that.
As the sun was quickly fading, we made it to one of our favorite spots just before sunset, the Hogback Bridge. Now that is a sunset in the Iowa countryside. So we were gonna cap out the evening at our favorite ice cream place, but we stopped by there and there were literally probably 40 people in line and it closed in about 8 minutes. So we decided we'll have to make our own ice cream.
I haven't made malts in so long. I kind of figure the ingredients are all correct and you just measure with your heart, is what I'm thinking.
That sounds good. These are the moments that seem like they might not mean much at all in the grand scheme of things. but later on they might just be what is remembered the most. Simple summer nights.